If you've watched my videos about body positioning, you'll know that the hip hinge is absolutely essential for almost every move on the bike. So this is how you test it. You look for a wall or a pole, then you move exactly 1 foot away, put your second foot in front of it, and now you open your feet about hip width apart. And now you want to hinge at the hips to touch the wall with your bum without your knees shifting forward. So this is what you don't want to do. You want to do this, and without overarching the back. So you don't want to stick your bum out. You want to hinge at the hips. Bring your upper body low while keeping the legs relatively extended. Slight bend is okay. And you want to touch that wall with your bum. Just imagine there's a light switch back there and you want to turn it off and on. Why is this essential? The hip hinge is an indicator of how well you can activate the glutes versus just squatting down and moving the hips too far forward. As soon as you do that, you'll tend to collapse forward. You won't be able to brace against forces when you have long downhills, especially when you're braking, and you need that when it's technical. And of course, you won't be able to activate the core enough, and core stability is, again, the foundation for a lot of moves on the bikes. Let's look at this identical move on the bike. If you're hinging properly, this is how the movement would look. So it's a hip initiated move, bringing the upper body low by hinging at the hips, by initiating the move from the hips. A common error is to have a knee initiated move. And the problem with that is you can see that as soon as my knee moves forward in front of my toe, it's super hard for me here to stabilize movement, in the sense of when I'm braking, for example, the body is going to be accelerated forward because the bike is slowing down when I engage the brakes. If now my knees are in front of my toes, how am I going to brace against those forces? It's super hard and very hard on these muscles right here. If, however, I'm hinging at the hips, I'm nice and stable, and now when I'm braking, I can drop the heels and stay stable through the feet without falling into the hands, which massively reduces the risk of going over the bar. And of course, it also helps with leg fatigue. So if you're struggling with leg fatigue on downhills, then maybe it's because you're collapsing forward versus hinging at the hips. An important point to add here is that when I'm hinging at the hips, that doesn't mean that I need to keep my legs extended at all costs. It just means that I'm hinging, and then I can move up and down in this vertical plane, versus, this would be a common error, moving forward and back, or moving up and down by bringing my knees in front of my toes. So what we want to do is this and not this. As full-time skills coaches, my colleague Bernie and I have identified that a common reason why riders 35 plus, and especially women who naturally have less strength, are fearful and or just can't execute the skills they're actually practicing is strength and stability issues. So the real bottleneck is that the body isn't ready. So if you're watching pro riders tutorials, then let us tell you, trying to copy them, if you're not willing to train strength and the other elements like them, can be very frustrating. So look for realistic drills, and we can promise you that you can keep making progress well into your 60s, 70s, and even 80s. Why? Well, because we have hundreds of students who prove this to us every single day.